Today, we're counting down 5 neighborhoods across Greater Seattle where counterculture has left a real mark. From city blocks to close-in districts shaped by music, art, zines, and oddball landmarks. One pick near the top may feel inevitable, but the full order has a few twists. For this countdown, we're looking at counterculture in the Seattle area sense. Places with visible indie music roots, DIY art energy, record shops, alternative comics, all-ages scenes, queer nightlife history, and streets where the unusual never felt like an afterthought. We're not ranking the most polished districts or the places with the biggest skyline views. We're looking for the neighborhoods where Seattle's outsider creativity has actually had room to gather, perform, publish, protest, dance, and make noise. Coming in at number 5, the University District. Centered around the University of Washington and the Ave, also known as University Way, the U District has long had the kind of street-level churn that feeds an underground scene. Its counterculture strength comes from student-driven DIY energy, folk shows, indie music communities, all-ages spaces, used bookstores, and record shops clustered around campus life. The neighborhood's role is less about one single famous venue and more about constant turnover. New bands, new posters, new zines, and new scenes forming before anyone has time to brand them. With a walk score of 99, according to Walk Score in 2026, it is also one of the easiest places in Seattle to experience block by block on foot. At number 4, Belltown. Today, Belltown sits right next to downtown and the waterfront, but its counterculture reputation comes from a grittier chapter in Seattle music history. The Crocodile, opened in 1991, is the big anchor here, a club closely tied to the grunge and alternative era, and known for hosting names like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Mudhoney. Before the neighborhood became more polished, Belltown had rehearsal rooms, small clubs, transient hotels, and a rough-edged arts district feel that helped shape the early Seattle sound. If you're tracing the line from underground rock to global music mythology, Belltown is one of the places where that story gets loud. Number 3 is Georgetown, south of the city center, near the Duwamish River, rail lines, and industrial corridors. Georgetown brings a very different counterculture texture than the neighborhoods closer to downtown. This is where former warehouse spaces, working industrial blocks, and independent arts venues create a blue-collar bohemian feel. Fantagraphics Bookstore and Gallery gives the neighborhood serious alternative comics and zine credibility, while Georgetown Records adds the kind of crate-digging energy that belongs in any counterculture conversation. Add in the Georgetown Art Attack walk, plus studios tied to printmaking, glass, whorls, and hands-on art, and Georgetown earns its spot as one of Seattle's most visually distinctive creative districts. At number 2, Fremont. Fremont has called itself the center of the universe, and honestly, that phrase tells you a lot about its counterculture personality. The Fremont Troll under the Aurora Bridge and the neighborhood's Lenin statue are not quiet landmarks. They are public statements that oddness belongs in the open. Along North 36th Street, Fremont's house bars, street art, and indie retail still carry traces of its bohemian reputation, while Daybreak Records keeps punk, hardcore, and underground vinyl in the neighborhood conversation. Fremont's counterculture is playful, theatrical, and self-aware. Less hidden basement, more, yes, there is a giant troll under the bridge, and we are all acting like this is normal. And at number 1, Capitol Hill. If we're talking about Seattle counterculture in the deepest historical sense, Capitol Hill is the neighborhood that ties the most threads together. Immediately east of downtown, it became a historic core of Seattle's queer life, indie nightlife, punk energy, and early 90s alternative culture, especially along the Pike Pine corridor. Rebar is a major name in that story, remembered as a counterculture club and as the site of Nirvana's Nevermind release party, while the broader neighborhood has also been shaped by indie theaters, late-night music spaces, and street-level creative scenes. Capitol Hill's ranking at number 1 comes from density, history, and influence. So many different forms of Seattle counterculture have crossed paths here that the neighborhood feels less like a single scene and more like an entire archive. So, to recap, number 5 was the University District, with its student-powered DIY and all-ages energy. Number 4 was Belltown, where the Crocodile and the early Seattle sound left a major mark. Number 3 was Georgetown, with Fantagraphics, Georgetown Records, Art Attack, and warehouse arts culture. Number 2 was Fremont, the oddball center of the universe. And number 1 was Capitol Hill, the historic heart of so much Seattle countercultural life. What stands out is how different these 5 places feel from each other. The U District is restless and student-driven. Belltown is tied to a specific music explosion. Georgetown is industrial and art-heavy. Fremont is eccentric in broad daylight. And Capitol Hill brings together nightlife, queer history, punk, indie venues, and the Pike Pine Corridor. And yes, that number 1 pick really does show how much of Seattle's counterculture has passed through the same few blocks over time. What did we miss? Which neighborhood, venue, record shop, art walk, bar, or basement stage legend should have made your top 5? Would you rank Georgetown higher, or are we sleeping on a spot somewhere outside the city limits in Greater Seattle? If you enjoyed this countdown, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives. And tell us what you want next. Another counterculture episode? A music venue's ranking? A coffeehouse map? Or a closer look at one specific Seattle neighborhood?